Okay. So yesterday we created VPC, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have created VPC subnet route
Right.
table and route table association.
Okay. So yesterday we created root table, VPC and its components, right? Subnet, created subnet. Then we make the subnet public, right?
Yes, internet gateway.
Yes, adding the root. Then internal gateway, and we attach that internal gateway to the VPC. Then created a root table and associated with the corresponding subnet associated. So today we will deploy, we will launch one EC2 machine, okay, to this subnet, and we will check is the subnet is public or not. Got it? So yeah, so we created a okay. So yeah, this is our diagram, okay, for the VPC. So we created a subnet, and this is a root
Subnet is
table.
the address. Subnet is like the addresses that are part of that virtual private network, and they have to be inside that address space.
Right. It's ranges of IP. We call it as
Ranges
ranges
of
of IP.
IP.
And IP is 10.0.0.0/16. For the subnet, 0/24, 255 IPs. This is a root table, and we associated with the subnet. Also, we created a internet gateway and attached to with our VPC. So this is the current configuration. Okay. Now this is a fully functional VPC. We can call it as this is a fully functional VPC because we configure everything for fully functioning our VPC. Okay. Then we are going to deploy or launching EC2 mission within the subnet. So this will be our So this will be the virtual machine, okay. So we can jump into the lab. So I'm going to the VPC. So we need to select the corresponding VPC that we created, okay. So in our case, Guruschools is a VPC, so select that VPC. Then coming to, see, here we can see the source map as well for our VPC. So this is a VPC and that VPC have one subnet. See, this is a subnet that we created. Then it's pointing to the root table. We created a root table for the same. And that root table is connected with that internet gateway. This is the GS internet gateway that we create. The art of living international center, जहां मेडिटेशन और स्पिरिचुअल गाइडेंस के लिए रोजाना हजारों लोग got it. So the networking part, everything seems fine. Now we can deploy our missions. So for that, we need to type EC2 in AWS, Elastic Cloud Computing. So go to the service EC2. There we can launch the virtual servers. So here we can see instance. This is the instance dashboard, okay, EC2 dashboard. Here we can see a lot of services related to EC2 and load balance, a lot of things we can see here. So click on the instance, okay. This is a instance dashboard. So here we can create missions and configure the missions like that. So for creating a mission from scratch, then launch instance. Click on the launch instance. Then here we need to provide the name for our machine. So for the new joiners, anyone before deploying or launch any missions in AWS or any cloud provider or first time? Okay. So first we need to provide the name, okay, for our server. The next thing is we need to define which operating system that we need to install in our server, okay. So that we can decide in this stage, application and OS image. So elaborate this one and we need to select corresponding operating system, okay. So a lot of flavors are here: Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Debian. And also if we have a operating system image, okay, from our on-premise, then that image we can upload here, okay. So there is option here and we can use that image for our mission as well. So in this case, I'm going with Amazon Linux. This is a Amazon's its own operating system. I mean, they will customize the kernel of Linux actually, taking the Linux kernel and they customize their own operating system. Then here we can see the architecture. We need to select corresponding architecture. Two type of architecture are available here: 64-bit X, 86 and ARM. So as per the requirement, we need to define those things. Okay. Coming to organizational perspective, then this is the main part. Okay, instance type. Here actually we need to define which configuration for our systems. Okay, the configurations that include CPU and memory. So here you can see it's by default it's pointing to T2 micro. For that T2 micro, it's a free tier eligible configuration. We can use this configuration as free tier. Okay, and if we need more configuration, okay, for example, the requirement is we need a more powerful machines. Okay, so we can select different types machines, like we called as families. Okay, mission families. Or here you can see the T2 is a family called T2 family. Then you can see T2 family, T3 family. Then this is next to family. Okay, this is family means a group of some configured machines. Okay, so also you can see T2, T3 Nano. This is starting T3 family and the virtual CPU is 2. For first free term machines configuration is one virtual CPU. That means only one core, okay? CPU power. Also the 1 GB memory, that is 1 GB RAM only. For T2 Nano, two virtual CPU and 0.5, I mean 500 milli RAM only. So similar way we can select corresponding machines and family also. Here you can see family C6IN family. That is 48 core CPU and 96 GB RAM. So we need to pay around $5 per hour if you're running this machine. You can see high-end machines as well. See this machine, family U7IN, and the CPU power is 896 virtual CPU. That much power for this family machine. And see, you can see the RAM size, 24,000 GB actually. And we need to pay $305 per hour if you're on this mission. So whenever came here, we need to define, okay, as per the requirement, we need to select the corresponding family. So in this case, or your case, if we're learning, then we can mostly go with the free tier, okay, for most of the project or most of the lab that we are going to do. Some other projects, sometimes we will using some other configuration like much configure than the T2, okay, like T2 micro to T2 large. We need to use T2 large sometimes. Then key pair. So we need to define the key pair actually when we configuring machines. Key pair is nothing. We can create a key pair from here, or else we can select the key pair from here. That these are the key pairs are existing key pair within my account. So this is actually a key that is authenticating. Okay, when we are remotely log into the server after launching this machine, we need to remotely log in this machine, right? So this machine belongs to US region. See, US North Virginia. So from India to North Virginia, we are using the machine belongs to North Virginia. So the one who is accessing that machines, okay, in my case, I am in India. So I will use some SSH client software like Putty or Mobex team. Okay, consider like that. So from India to US, we are going to take a machine remotely, right? So for that, we need to provide some machine infos like machine public IP, machine username, along with this key. This is a private key actually. Here these all are private keys actually. Okay. If we if we don't have any private key, okay, then we need to create a private key from scratch. Click here, and here we need to provide the name for the private key, like my key or anything. Then we can select the encryption mode. Okay, two types are there. One is RSA and ED25519. So most probably we are going with the RSA. And for the format, we can select PEM or PPK. PEM is also fine. We can generate PPK as well if you have the PEM. Okay. So this is the private key for the machine that we are going to launch. And for the same machine, there is a public key as well. So the public keys belongs to the machine actually. Okay. So that is inside the machine. So whenever we remotely logging with the IP username and this private key should match with the private public key that belongs to server. Otherwise, the connection will be denied by the server. So we need to ensure that whenever we taking remote connections, the key should be same. Okay. So here I am going with the existing key pair. Okay. Or else if I create one, then that key pair will be assigned for the machine and that key pair will be downloaded in my local machine as well. Then coming to the networking part, here actually we need to define the network and everything. That means if we select our own network, that means this machine's going to the network. Okay. So I will select my network. Here you can see a lot of VPCs are there. So we need to select the corresponding VPC. So I will select that one. And whenever you're selecting the VPC, we need to define the subnet as well. Here in this case, only one subnet, so it's automatically selected here. So we define our VPC and subnet, everything is fine. Now we need to enable auto assign public IP. So this is actually whenever we launch machine at the same time we got a public IP. Okay, if we enable this option, otherwise our machine would not have any public IP. So that's fine. Then this is a firewall or security group. Okay. So coming to firewall, okay. See, here this is our virtual machine. Okay, the machine we are now configuring, consider like that EM. And coming to the security part, okay, machine security or firewall. We can call it as firewall. That's best actually. Okay. And for the firewall in AWS, the name is security or security group. So here, what are things that we are doing? Like we need to open or closing ports, okay, ports. What is ports? Coming to mission, there is the word is logical ports. Okay. For example, any of the missions, okay, any laptop or mobile phone or anything, that missions have logical ports around 65,536 something logical ports are there. This is logical ports, okay. That ports using some protocols as well. For example, the requirement, this is a mission, okay. After launching this mission, we need to log in the mission, right? So how we will log in? Using the mission IP, the public IP, then the username and the key, that private key. Okay. So this is my local laptop, okay. And I using some SSH client or anything, and I will provide these all things, okay, to create a connection from my local machine to the remote server. So the remote server connection, when I trying to establish this connection, it will goes like this, okay, to hitting that server, okay. And here we using a protocol actually. This is a service, okay. Sorry, this is a protocol actually. The protocol name is SSH. For taking remote connection of a Linux server, we are using SSH connection or SSH protocol. So the SSH protocol using a port number from this logical port. The port number is default port number is 22. So we need to open this port number, okay, for this machine. Otherwise, we can't log into the machine using the protocol SSH. So the next time we are planning to deploy an application, a web application. Web application protocol is HTTP. Okay, our application successfully deployed inside the machine, that's fine. And one more thing that we need to do, like if we're using HTTP protocol, then we need to open, this is actually a protocol, okay. Then we need to open port number 80. Otherwise, no one can access our application. So here we need to open the port number 80 as well. So anyone need to access the web application, okay. So they will type like abc.com or any URL, then it's came to our machine using, they will accessing the application, okay, via port number 80. Got it. So as per the requirement, similar way, we need to open corresponding port number for different services like that. And by default, okay, by default, most of the port numbers are closed. That's a best practice actually, because when sometimes a malicious person or a hacker can easily scanning the port numbers, okay, of any remote server. Like they will use some tools, so they can easily identify any open ports in any of the machines, and they can access via the open ports, okay. So that's why we need to close the flow ports or the ports. So as per the recommend, we can enable the port or open the port. Any doubt regarding the port? All good, right? Okay. We can continue.
So the port 22 has to be open for SSH.
Right. SSH default port number is 22. So if we, this is for the Linux case. For example, if we are using a Windows machine, so which port number we are need to open? So for Windows, okay, for Windows, consider in our subnet there is a Windows machine as well. So we need to take the remote connection of Windows. So Windows using not protocol, that is RDP protocol, remote desktop protocol. For remote desktop protocol, the port number is 3387, default port number. So we need to open that port number. I told you that for the port numbers total, the last port number is, I mean, this much port numbers are there, 65,536. So each port numbers has their own duties actually for, I mean, enabling some service or running some services like that. So here you can see coming to the firewall. Okay, here actually we are going to enable the port number and like corresponding thing. And in this case, it creating a security group for this machine by default. And here you can see by default it's.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
It's related to the port numbers. So the port numbers remain same for all the platforms, cloud platforms, or they keep changing?
It's common actually.
It's common. Doesn't matter we are using GCP
No.
or Azure
No,
or
yes,
AWS.
yes, 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 yes. Even in our phone also the port number actually.
Phone like what
Mobile
phone?
phones.
Okay.
Mobile phones.
Okay. So the like the specific protocol has a specific number of a port.
Right, right. Yes.
Okay.
It's same in coming to on-premise mission or cloud mission. No issues. Everything
Okay.
is same.
Okay.
This
Thank
is
you.
actually standard, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So in this case, by default, okay, the AWS now we are going to configure a Linux missions because we selected the image for the Linux C. Here we selected the Amazon Linux. So that it's automatically open the port for us. See, by default, it's type is SSH and the protocol TCP and the port range 22. Who can access via port number 22 to to this machine? That we need to define the source type. Everyone who have the internet access can access our machine via 22. But the PEM key and public IP needed, okay, for the access. So if we need to deny this for everyone, then we can define who can access or only me, like that options are here. For example, only I need to access the machines. Then I can change it to my IP. Okay, so only taking request from my IP to this machine via port number 22. So if any, for example, any of you only access, then you can provide your public IP to me. Then here I can provide your public IP. So here, so in this case, we can go with anyone, but this is for the learning purpose only. Okay, for the best practice, we didn't do like this.
Can you show
And
that on that screen? So there's a type of the protocol. So you have type SSH and protocol is TCP over port 22, right? And then what is the source type?
source type means who can access this specific machine, a specific server via port number 22. That
Okay,
is
so
in this case anywhere. Anywhere means
what
anyone can access.
what are the options there if you click on the drop down menu source type, anywhere, custom, or my IP?
Yeah. For example, only Amol needs to access the machine. So I will go to the custom option, select custom, and you need to send your public IP to me. So I will provide the public IP here. So this connection, this port number SSH knows only taking service, only taking the request, the incoming request. That means someone who is accessing the server, right, using the public key and PEM key. So only taking the corresponding IP. Rest of them will be denied.
Okay.
So if I select my IP, look, it will automatically fetch my IP. See, this is my IP. This is my public IP. What's my IP? See, this is a public IP that I got from my service provider. So this is the same. So it will automatically fetch. Got it. So now I am going with this one. Okay, my IP. You can see. And this is the last part. Okay, we need to define. We need to configure the storage part for our machines. That is hard disk. Okay, how much storage? So here we can define the storage. So in this case, you can see only 8 GB. So if we need more, then we can type here. So that much storage we got for our machine. And this is a storage, different types of hard disk types are there, like SSD, IOPS SSD, general purpose SSD, then magnetic standard. So as per the requirement, we need to select corresponding one. We can go with the default one, that is general purpose SSD GP3. Seems all fine. We configured our machines. I mean, we yeah, give all the necessary details. Then we can go to launch instance. See, it's completed. Now we can see the machine. So go to the instance. See, our machine is up and running. See how fast we take a server. So before cloud, how we will do the same thing? We need to go and purchase a server and back to the office or the on-premise infra. Then we need to set up that machines, I mean the server within the network, installing the operating system. Lot of effort and time there, right? In on before cloud. So leveraging any cloud technology like cloud computing, we can quickly deploy our machines as per our demands. That's why it's offering on demand. Anytime we can deploy machine and we can start the work and we can terminate the machine also. And we need to pay only for pay as you go model. So whatever the things that we working or we using the machines, only we need to pay for the usage. So see, the machine is up and running. So we need to checking or I'm going to connect the machine. Okay. So before that, I will show one thing. See, I'm selecting the machine. So here we can see the details part of this machine, specific machines. And here we can see the machine ID. This is a unique ID when coming to AWS account. And here we can see machine public IP. That means we have a, for this machine, that machine have a public IP. Also, the machine have a private IP, okay? All the machines have public IP, private IP. If we enable the public IP, then we got the public IP as well. Using private IP, they will connecting or communicating internally within the VPC. This is for external connection. So here we can quickly connect the machine, direct connect option there, click connect and connect. This will open a separate browser and we got the shell as browser terminal as well, okay? So there we can managing and administering our Linux machine. So now it's establishing connection. In this way, we didn't provide anything like turnkey or anything, okay? iPublic IP because we already log into this account actually. From here, we taking the connection. So coming to the terminal, you can see one error, EC2 connection prerequisite. This is related to network
Still
configuration, okay?
initializing. I think status tech is still initializing.
No. See, failed to connect your instance. So we need to troubleshoot the issues as well. So this is might be related to the networking part, okay? So first I am going to the VPC. Internal gateway attached, see, and this is internal gateway, and that is attached to the VPC Guruschools. That's fine. Now we need to check the subnet as well. This is a subnet, and I'm selecting the subnet. Then I will check the root table as well. Okay, go to the root table, open root table, subnet association. Everything seems fine. Now I will try to reload the machine. Okay.
It's not public. You wrote public, but it's still private. That's why it doesn't see it through the root table, through the internet gateway.
See, this is a route
Okay.
to make public. So one thing we can do, I will remove it and configure it again, okay? And route anyone can access, and we need to define the internet gateway. GS internet. Save changes. Now I will reload. Still same.
I think it doesn't like the browser refresh button.
Mm.
Maybe if you click around and came back to the same
Mhm.
without hitting refresh.
Whenever we hitting refresh, it will start to connect authenticate again. Okay, but I will do one thing, that is go to security of a machine. I mean, I selected my IP, okay, that access came, I mean, connecting from my IP only. So I will change it to anyone, okay, we'll see. Yeah, now it's sorted out. See,
What did you do to sort it out?
changing the security group, right? In security group, I defined only from my AP, okay? So that makes the conflict, I mean, the denied actually. First is denied.
But you had allowed it from the whole internet, right?
Yes, but if I provide my IP, I think we need to use the remote connection like SSH or UT. So this is actually browser shell, right? Directly we accessing the machine, right?
Okay.
Via the just opening from here and create a network connection. I mean, via browser we manage the machines. That's why I think. Okay, so we successfully log into the remote server. So, so this is the way how we will, I mean, configure the VPC. Then we will deploy the machine to a public subnet, and after we will take the connection of that remote server. Got it. For example, if we need to install any application, okay, so we can go with a web application deployment. So the web application deployment, we need to install any of web server. A lot of web servers are available in market like Nginx, Apache, Caddy. So any of the web server that we need to leverage to expose our application, web application. Okay, I mean this another requirement. Okay, to deploy a web application. So I will go with the Apache. Okay, so we need to install Apache. We log into the machine, and the next scenario, we need to deploy a web application or a sample web application. So first we need to install Apache. Coming to Linux, we using yum package manager. Okay, so yum is the command to install package manager, or sorry, packages. Yum install. If we are using Ubuntu, then we need to use apt. Okay, so apt install like that. Now we need to install yum install. Then we need to define the service name. Which service like Docker, Ansible, Apache, Nginx. Any service we can define here. In this case, I am go with the Apache. For Apache, coming to the Amazon Linux, we called as HTTPD. So it will download the packages from internet. See, now it's downloading. Okay, starting to installing. Yeah, it's completed. I mean, we installed the Apache web server. Okay, Apache web server is a web server application or service that we install within our server for serving the web contents, okay, to the incoming requesters. For example, if anyone accessing our application, that is for ABC, anyone type ABC, okay, that is our application domain name. So that connection hitting our machine first. Mission means this web server, this server. Then via port number, I told you the web application using HTTP. So we need to open the port number 80 as well. So that access came through the port number 80 to the web server actually. So the web server take that request and serving the web contents. So we need to configure or we need to create web contents as well. Okay. I mean the application code related things. So the Apache successfully installed, we need to check using systemctl command to ensure our service is up and running. So this is a common tools that we use in Linux systemctl. It's a native command line tool to checking the status, or we can start service, stop service like that. So in this case, we are going to check the status of the service. Service name is same name, HTTPD. Here you can see it's inactive. Active state is inactive. So I'm going to start the service using same systemctl tool. Now I started. We'll check again the status. See, now it's active and running. Okay. The next thing is whenever we install the Apache, okay, there will be a default directory created, okay, in our machine. So in that directory, actually, we need to copy our application content or application code, all the stuffs, okay. So the default directory is I'm going to change the directory, okay. So we can use cd command in Linux to changing directory. So directory in Linux is a consider like in Windows we have a folder, okay, inside another folder. So similar like in Linux we call as directory. So I will check my current directory. Okay, we can use pwd command to check the current directory. See, this is my directory. In Linux, all the directory starting from the root path, root. Okay, that root means the forward slash is the root. And this is directory starting home, easy to use. And lot of other directories are similar like this, okay, for each purposes. So now we install Apache. So Apache created a directory, okay. So we need to go to the default directory, that is var www html. Now I switch to this directory to this directory, okay. Hit enter. Now I'm switch. When I'm typing pwd, you can see. See, and now I am in a different directory. Got it. So now we are in the directory, the last part. Okay, this is a directory currently we are in. See, HTML. So now we are creating the application code under the directory HTML. This is the entire directory path actually. Okay, for example, this is one folder. Inside the folder, there is another folder www. Inside the folder, when opening www, we can see another folder HTML. And inside the HTML folder, we are going to create the application code, files, and a lot of things. So all the related application code related things belongs to the folder HTML. So in this case, we don't have any application, so we can create an application using a editor. Okay, editor in Linux is using editor we can edit files and create files. So these are the usage of using editors. Okay, two types of editors are in Linux. One is Vim and Nano. So we can use Nano to create a file. In this case, I am using Nano to create a file, index.html file. Okay, for web application, our application contents belongs to the index.html file. So I'm going to create a file from scratch. So it will open the editor. So here I am typing something. Okay, hi all. Or else we can keep the application content here. Okay, that content means using the language HTML, JS, like JavaScript or CSS. So we need to take some sample code and put it here, or else we can type anything here. Okay, this will display when we expose the application. So this is fine. I'm save and exit. For saving and exit, we need to type Control X, then plus, then it will ask for yes or no. So I'm typing yes to save and exit and hit enter. So we need to list the files within the directory. Okay, so that command is ls. So it will list the command. So here you can see the file is created. And we need to ensure the content also inside the file. So for that, we can open the file using the same way like Nano, or else we can using the command cat. Cat is displaying the content within a file. So we need to define the file name as well. Cat, then the file name. See, content is there. Right. So now we can access the application. Everything seems fine. So for accessing the application, we need to copy the public IP. Okay. And open a browser and paste it there. But now it's not taking because we're using a HTTP web application, right? I mean, we deployed a HTTP web application. And I told you, whenever
You have
we,
to open
yep, we had to open the port number 80. Otherwise, we can't access the application. So in this case, only we open 22. So go to add rule. And here we can drop down and we need to select the HTTP. So when we select the HTTP, you can see it automatically open the port number 80. And who can access the application? Anyone can access the application. Save rule. Now I am back here. Okay. See, it's loaded. Got it. So this is the way we are deploying applications using machines via HTTP based application. Okay. In real world scenario, we didn't use IP, right? We need to go to buy domains and take the domain, and we need to put this IP whenever we're taking the domain from any domain registrar like GoDaddy or anything like that. For example, if we're using, I will take a sample free domain. Okay, DuckDNS is a site actually. Here we get free domain. I will check. Yeah, it's fine. This is we got a domains. This is actually they offer only subdomain. Okay, this is subdomain, and this is a main domain. So they will add their own domain if this is free. That's why they're using that one. So we need to copy the IP and go to the domain. So this is a domain, and here we need to update the IP. Paste the IP here. The public IP of our EC2 machine. Okay. And update IP. That's fine. Now we can use this URL, not the IP. Okay. So anyone can access using the URL as well. Paste. See, application is accessible. Got it. So this is the way we leveraging the domain. for accessing your application. So anyone have any doubt?
You pasted this file inside www/var/ direct. What was the directory path? Where you pasted this edited file that says hi all.
This is
HTML.
about var www html. This is
Oh,
the
it's called index.html. Okay, that's why it shows
yeah,
it as.
where we keeping the file that is inside the index. Sorry, HTML directory, and in this case, the file name is index.html. In real world scenario, there is a lot of other files are there. Okay, for example,
Yeah.
index.html file there.
Yeah,
Then
simplified example. Yeah.
application source contents there, like images, a lot of things are there. This is for the like web application, okay, HTML web application. For example, it's a Java-based application. We need to deploy, not here actually. We need to install the Tomcat web server. So we got another directory similar like this that end with the web apps. So under the web apps, actually, we need to copy the application, Java application file, Java var file. We call it as Java var file. So we need to keep the file under the web app directory after building the Java code. Got it?
Hmm.
So
So
anyone
take the
have any
machine
doubt?
on the internet and put stuff on the internet.
Right. So anyone have any doubt? Or else we can wind up today's section, right? All of you.
I'm okay. I can wind up.
Okay. So anyone have any doubt? Purnima, Ladida, Manasa,
No,
Mark.
but like, do we need to shut down the EC2 instance like for further
Yes,
building?
yes. So after this section, we need to terminate the machine. So just to go to the EC2. And yesterday, I mean, you all created the AWS account, right? Select and terminate. Select the machine and terminate. That's all. So it will starting to shutting down. After some time, we can see it's terminate. Also releasing this IP as well. Okay. See, the machine is gone. Shutting state. Yeah, then we can wind up, right? All of you.
Sure. Thank you for the class, Tawfiq sir. Have a good morning.
Yep.
Can we have
Yep.
can you send this video so that they can make the YouTube
Yep.
video
Sure.
yesterday and today too?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.